What is going on, beautiful people? Happy Saturday. My name is Sweatpants Jesus.
I'm Walmart Mac Miller. How we doing, everybody?
Thanks so much for stopping by for your afternoon Betspresso. Appreciate you guys being here with us. If you're logging in on Twitter, thanks so much for stopping by. If you're here with us on Twitch, thanks so much for being here. This is brought to you every single time by Betting News. Go to bettingnews.com. You can read all of my stories there. You can read all of NZ's stories there. He actually just posted his first story today. Yeah. Big stuff rolling through at bettingnews.com, so go check that out. I posted my NFL pieces today talking about the divisional matchups, so go give that a read. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming with you guys, so really appreciate you guys stopping by with us today. If you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, so appreciate all you guys being here with me and your boy NZ. Yes, Betalytics in the house. Saturday playoff action. We got Betalytics is going to be here today. We're going to be using Betalytics' platform. If you guys want to check out Betalytics, go to betalytics.com. You can use our promo code BNews. You can get 30% off your subscription to Betalytics. You're going to see a little bit about how we use Betalytics on the daily basis with the kind of the props and the sides that we look at in our betting strategy. And you can check that out at betalytics.com. So appreciate them being here. Appreciate them sponsoring this video along with Betting News. So we got a really, really special guest today, and NZ and I are super pumped. We've been friends with this guy. I don't see him. NZ, do you see him?
I think he is having technical difficulties.
Oh, cool. Well, that's all right. I'll just talk about it. Oh, there he is. I'll talk about him for a little bit.
We'll go right back
to
where we were.
Yeah, we'll go, we have a really special guest today. Super stoked to have him on. And he is super, super sharp in the UFC. There's a humongous UFC event today. We're going to be doing more kind of different types of guests moving forward over on the weekends with UFC, with soccer. We've got a pretty cool soccer guest next week. We'll be teasing that. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring him on. One of our closest friends on Twitter, one of our original homies around this space, and one of the sharpest guys in the UFC space. We got our buddy Trizzy Betts. What is up, my man? How's it going?
What's up, boys? How you doing today?
Fantastic, man.
All right.
Appreciate you being here
for tonight.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you for having me on, guys. I'd love to drop some UFC knowledge on the kids.
We are so happy that you are here. Full disclosure for me, I'm not a huge UFC guy. I have watched the violence before, but anytime I bet a UFC bet, it is via our friend Trizzy Betts.
Yeah.
So if you're not following Trizzy, please go follow him on Twitter at Trizzy Betts. He posts his UFC card every single time there's a major UFC event. There's going to be a lot of UFC events pretty much every weekend from this point forward through the rest of the year. So go follow him. And he'll be talking a little bit more about this massive UFC event tonight. Yeah, we've got some boys in the house. We got Hovey in the house. Let's go. We got Coins in the house. We'll be talking about your G-Men in just a second, Coins. Excited to have you here. Happy Saturday, Hovey. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy weekend. Hope everybody's having a good day. I've got my coffee. If you guys got something a little stronger, that's good for you. Got your day rolling. We appreciate that. Chris's got his iced coffee. He's got his Dunkin' Donuts. Here we go. Here's a good question for you guys: Dunkin' or Starbucks? Or
you just asked a New Englander.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really beat walking 100 feet in each direction and being able to go to a Dunkin'. So I prefer Dunkin' for that reason.
Let's go. I don't dislike Dunkin'. I'm actually not really a Dunkin' sweeps. I actually don't really love Starbucks or Dunkin', to be honest. I'm more of a local coffee kind of guy. But I have dabbled in both. I'm no coffee connoisseur, but I do enjoy some nice coffee. But if your boy needs caffeine, I got to drink whatever's available. So I know NZ doesn't drink coffee. He only messes around with that Red Bull shit. So
I'm an espresso guy.
That's true.
I'll drink espresso in the morning, and then I move to Red Bull.
We need to have a day where when we do this show, we all get our pinkies up and drink a little espresso for
we can do that.
I always get the espresso in the coffee. It's a must. You know, it's a nice jolt of life in the morning.
Exactly.
Oh no, I'm talking the shot. I drink the shot every morning. I just, you know what it is? This coffee gives the boy heartburn, and I just rather go with the I don't know, the short amount of the the concentration, we'll call it.
Over under Dunkin' Donuts consumption for me when I go to Dunkin' is an astronomical high over for me. So just dropping that in here. Word. All right, well, guys, appreciate you being here. We're going to be rolling for the next hour, probably a little bit longer, because we got this massive UFC event that Trizzy Bets is going to spoon feed us some winners on that. I have actually an MGM parlay boost for the UFC today. When we get to Trizzy talking about the UFC, he's going to spoon feed me his best parlay of the day. I think Enzi's already booked it. I'm going to book it live with my boost, and we're going to see it cash later because he's been deep in the lab. He's excited to kind of get rolling with some of that. But before we get started on the UFC, we're going to talk a little bit about these NFL games today. We're going to talk about the ice. There's a lot of NHL games. There's actually some going on right now. I think the Sabres are playing right now.
Yes, sir.
We got UFC and G-Men tonight. We got all types of violence happening today. We're super stoked about that. But let's get started on talking about the NFL today. So we've got the first game of the day is talking about the Chiefs and the Jags. So the Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Arrowhead tonight, or this afternoon, I guess. 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. I actually wrote about this on Betting News. If you want to go check out my article talking a little bit about the game, giving you some information and letting you know which side I like in this game. I want to get your perspective, boys, because I don't have an actual personal play here. I didn't want to touch anything in this game because I don't like playing sides that are over like 8 or 8.5 in the playoffs. It's a little sketchy for me. I was kind of thinking about maybe doing the over, but I'm seeing a lot of money going the other direction in that way. So that kind of sussed me out too. I think it's Chiefs minus 9.5 for me. I think that's my favorite play in this game. If I was going to play something, I don't have a personal play here, but that was kind of my favorite lean, I would say. What do you guys seeing in this one?
I don't know. It's interesting. The whole Trevor Lawrence not losing on a Saturday thing has really got me on that narrative. And the only reason why I still go with it was I thought last week, would be the jinx, and that would be it. Oh, they brought it out that everybody will put the money on it. And he proved us all wrong. So I didn't expect him to win. I did expect him to cover. I think they cover. We had this conversation with, I believe it was Sandy from Owner's Box, that the Chiefs don't do well against large spreads. They win games, but they don't necessarily cover. Yeah. So I may take the spread. I may sprinkle the money line for fun, but may even do it live to see what happens to maybe save some coin if I'm donating there. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we also see an under game here. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. I think that it's going to be a little bit of a chess match.
52 points in a playoff game is a really high total. I mean, I know we saw every game soar over last week, and which was pretty unprecedented, I think, for the playoffs. So I think we could see some kind of return back to normalcy a little bit this week and get a little bit more close to a standard playoff football game. But Susie, you're all about line movement, man. What are you kind of seeing? Have you seen anything?
Basically, my only insight on the game would be, as you just said, almost every playoff game went over last week. Almost everyone. I think the Monday night game pushed, but even still, that's just not sustainable. Playoff football is usually tight. It's divisional weekend. I think a lot of these games are going to end up going under. As far as the side, you also touched on it. Chiefs aren't too good at covering a large spread like that. If I had to guess, I would assume that the Chiefs are probably going to be covering this game up until about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And then that's usually when the Jags do Jag things, and they'll come back and probably cover that 10. I don't think they win. Chiefs are juggernaut. I think they'll run through them until the last couple of minutes where Jags end up covering that 10 points.
This is interesting from Betalytics. So Betalytics' best bet of this game isn't the full game or spread, but on the third quarter, Jacksonville plus 2.5. Interesting.
Triple green, huh?
Those don't happen very often on Betalytics. No. Eagles win by 5+ from City Titty. We'll talk about that in a minute.
City.
Quarter bets have also fared really well for us this season. Yeah, quarter bets, well said, Trizzy. The chest of plays KC has is insane. Yeah, they really do. I mean, obviously, the reason why, and I'm full transparency here, I do not have a single dollar on this game. I really don't. I wrote about it. I had to put out leans about what I liked in this game, kind of my best opinions, my best bets that I would take if I was going to bet this game. But basically, because of what we just talked about here, I don't want to bet on this game. I think that it really could go any direction. The spread's too big. I think the Chiefs could completely blow the doors off the Jaguars. I've watched this team all season long. Yes, they've been on a great streak, but like they were getting trounced by the Chargers 27-0. And I mean, if the Chargers didn't shit the bed and throw that game away, that game was over. So, I mean, they really needed a lot to happen. And you think that if the Chiefs get up 27-0, that they're going to fucking throw away a lead like that? Absolutely not. So I really don't see this as a good betting situation from this game. There might be some props that might be worth touching. I mean, if you really wanted to get cheeky, you can maybe play like a Jerick McKinnon anytime touchdown. If you wanted to be super chalky, he scored 6 games in a row. How chalky is that? It's minus 125, not super juiced. I don't really like taking minus anythings on anytime touchdowns just because it's like juice for a guy to score a touchdown, which is one of the hardest plays in football. So I'm not going to touch anything specifically there. This is an interesting point. Lotto tickets start with Kansas City money line and Kelsey anytime or first touchdown.
First touchdown. Interesting.
Whew, cheeky. I mean, again, I think this is the type of game where if you wanted to put out some little sprint bets, that could be a nice way to get your day going. But anything large on this game on a side or a total, I don't want to ride with. I do have a 4-leg parlay because I had a free 100% return bet type of thing. I did put Chiefs minus 9.5. I believe way more in the Chiefs to dominate this game more than the Jags to possibly cover here. I think their luck runs out today. I think the Chiefs win. I think they could win big. Again, it's partially also because I'm a Titans fan and I fucking hate the Jaguars, but so I'm letting my heart kind of speak a little bit as well. But I think Mahomes is going to do Mahomes things today. I do like his passing yards. That is an interesting look that I was looking at. The Jacksonville defense is bottom. I think they're the 6th worst in the NFL with passing yards allowed. They're bad. And when these guys played earlier this season, Mahomes had 325 plus passes. I think he had 330, something like that. Passing yards, he torched them. Their secondary is not very good. Their coverage of the middle of the field, like they're covering linebackers, is not very good. And you don't think that Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, with over 2 weeks about 10 days of preparation against these guys, is not going to exploit them all day long. Yeah, I like Mahomes passing yards. I might end up playing that, to be honest, just to have a little action in this game, but I feel more comfortable about that than the Chiefs. Like you said, Trizzy, the Jags could do some jaggy things and come in late and cover this spread on some weird, fluky bullshit. So I don't really want to be a part of that. But I think we're all kind of on the same page in this one. Kind of a stay away. Maybe just kind of watch it happen if you have a prop or something you want to throw something on. But I don't think that I think the under is probably the move. But again, every time we've talked about this on this show, Trizzy, we've talked about it a little bit in the group chat. I've never talked to you about it personally, but I fucking hate unders. I don't play them very often. I swear to God, dude, every time you text an under, I want to take it. But then every time I play an under myself, it randomly happens. I will do an under every once in a while. Shit sores. I saw some people play Kyrie Irving's under points yesterday. He had fucking 48 points. That's the type of shit that happens to me when I play an under. And I know that happens a lot of times when you play overs, just dudes shit the bed and don't do anything. But
it's opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Most of the time. Yeah.
But for some reason,
I like.
Go ahead.
I like taking unders when almost everybody and their mother is on the over. That's usually when I have success with the unders. Those are the only times and it doesn't make too much sense, but those are the only times I really feel safe taking an under. It's when everybody's on the other side. So
the contrarian plays tend to work in those situations. This is an interesting point from Betalytics, and then we'll move on to this next game. We're steering clear of the 4-game spread or total in this one, finding more value in the niche quarter bets, and we have some few player props lined up. So basically agreeing with what we just talked about. So I think it'll be a good game. I would assume. If it's not a good game, it means the Chiefs just blow the doors off the Jags. We're going to talk about this, and then the Jags are going to win by 20 because that's how this shit works. But I don't see a way.
Harden triple-double. Sure.
Harden triple-double. Absolutely. Go sprint that.
Free. It was free.
Bro, I'm telling you, I swear to God, I looked at his lines before I went to sleep the night before that, and I was like, this guy burned the shit out of everybody. No one's going to bet on him again. I'm taking him to do anything tomorrow, and his triple-double was not free. He got his last rebound in the last minute of the game, but it was higher value than it's probably ever been because of the burnage that he did to everybody.
Right.
But all right, so let's move on to the evening game, which is the game that I actually do have some plays in, which is the Giants.
I do myself actually too.
Oh, I wonder if Trizzy does as well. We got City Titty saying Hurts 2+ passing touchdown boosted on DK. We know what that means. He's gonna run. He'll run one. Probably. He'll run one.
That means.
Yep. All right, so we got the Giants taking on the Eagles in Philadelphia tonight. Obviously, NFC East, huge showdown. The Giants were 7.5-point underdogs. Now it's bumped up to 8, which is where I got it. I'm riding with the G-men here, man. I got +8 earlier this morning. I'm glad I waited for the 8. I liked the 7.5. The 7.5 was cool for me because I think anything over 7 was fine. But +8, give it to me. I don't care if there's money on the Eagles. I don't care if all the money's moving that direction. I believe in this Giants team, and I was telling NZ before we kind of got started here today that I think the Eagles have a shit the bed in them. I just do. I just feel it. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I feel that way, but I'm just rolling with a little bit of my gut here and riding with what the G-men are going to offer. So, Triz, what do you? I can see you shaking your head. So either you're going to completely shit on me because of all the movement, and I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is 70% of the tickets are coming in on the G-men, and the line's moving the other way. I know Coins is probably going to shoot
wasn't
me
properly
for saying
attired.
that,
Sorry.
Oh, he's got the. Are we gonna jersey curse this show as well? Let's go.
No, fuck yeah.
I think public dogs go to die in the playoffs. If you're asking me, and the G-men's a pretty public dog this week. I'm not saying they're not going to cover, but I don't see the Eagles getting upset like this. I mean, I'm a Patriots fan, so I know better than anybody that whenever the Giants are not supposed to win and they squeak into the playoffs on 8-8, they usually win. But I just don't. This Eagles team is very good. I see somebody in chat said Hurts 2+ passing TDs boosted on DK. I think they might actually just run the ball down the Giants' throat all day. I think that's probably a good under spot right there, the Eagles and Giants. Mm-hmm. But I don't have any plays on it. I only made one non-violent play today, and it's in the NHL.
Nice. We actually, he did say we both NZ and Trizzy have a play in the same NHL game, which we will talk about in just a minute. But here's my thing on the Giants, right? I get that. I watched this Eagles team dismantle the Titans earlier this season. They have the best roster in the NFL. I don't think that there is any team in the NFL right now that has a better roster. However, I think that what I saw from Daniel Jones last week against the Vikings gives me confidence in the fact that I feel like that this game is going to be close. I agree with you, Trizzy. I don't necessarily think they're going to win, but I think that they cover the 8. It might be shitty. It might be some bullshit at the end, but I think they're going to cover here.
I actually, not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, you're good,
I actually just remembered, I don't know if anybody uses this sports book, but Betfred, as of this morning, boosted Giants money line from +350 to +500.
Wow.
Yeah, so we know about those boosts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That means play the spread.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, I don't have any beans on the Giants money line here, but I do have a unit on the Giants +8. That's an official play for me. Coins is all.
Coins is going crazy. Coins is going to kill me after this stream.
Coins put the balance on the Giants, man. I'm telling you, he put the balance on them. Giants by 1 million. We got Chef in here too. What's up, Chef?
All right, sorry, I wasn't properly attired here.
You weren't prepared.
I don't know how foolish of me. But,
you weren't prepared to Saquon D's nuts, were you?
Dude, I got
what's your play? I know because I know you're a Giants guy.
Well,
are you on the Giants +8?
The lean is the +8 is definitely the play for me in this game. It definitely will be sprinkling the money line, but that's because, and I know it's a homer pick, but I'm older. I lived through both those championships that Trizzy's referring to. I climbed a police van at the second one and caused a riot at the parade, and I have a picture proof of that, so I'll post it when I find it. There's just something about this team right now. They did the same shit in 2007. They killed the perfect season for the Patriots. They had a quarterback that everybody thought was a goddamn joke. They had no wide receivers. They did have a good defense, though. That is the difference. So that's the only thing that makes me wonder if they can hold it out. But they look like the team that just can find ways to win right now, and that's what you need when you're in the playoffs. It doesn't matter if you win by 110, a million, or whatever. So I do think they get it done. But it's a good point, Trizzy. I mean, history does repeat itself. So I'll touch on this a little bit. I'm not going to call them frauds necessarily because they won as many games as they did for a reason, but I don't think that they have that. I don't think they have that seasonedness in them. Not that the Giants do. It's just that, like, from a coach that doesn't really have that, I'll say oomph in him. Not that he's a bad coach, but he's no Dable where he's fired up and he's got that intensity and things like that. And
Nick Sirianni is pretty salty, bro. Yeah, he can be pretty fiery. I say that because I don't like that guy. I just don't like the Eagles. There's something. Well, okay, first of all, they have AJ Brown, so they took AJ Brown from my Titans, which they didn't take him. We fucking stupidly traded him away. So they have that. I also had to eat my words a little bit because I said that Jalen Hurts was not a very good quarterback to start the season. Obviously, I've had to kind of backpedal from that one, or not backpedal, but accept the fact that I was wrong about Jalen Hurts. However, I do think that he has the capabilities to not be elite in certain situations. If you take away, he's a bot. If you take away his first couple of reads, I've seen them in the games that they have lost. It's been because they've gotten off script. I'm not talking about Hurts scrambling. I'm talking about they've gotten into situations that is not advantageous to them, which is kind of not credible analysis. But in those games, in those situations, they've kind of folded a little bit. And I'll be interested to see if they find themselves in that type of situation today, if they push through. If they push through, they're going to win the Super Bowl because this will be – I mean, I think the Niners are going to go all the way. That's been my dark horse pick since the beginning of when this all before the playoffs started. I like the Niners a lot. But – the Eagles have the best roster, and they can beat anybody in the NFL just based upon talent. See, here we go. This is the type of data that I like when it supports what I have to say. I think they could win by a tutty. I really do. I think the 8 is nice. It's a nice number. It doesn't make me feel sketched out. I like that, and I think that this game does stay relatively close. The other play that I really like in this. Oh, go ahead.
No, so you got to keep in mind, I don't think Hurts is 100%. And that's the other concerning point for him. I mean, I think that, if the Giants defense can get to him and give him a hit or two, that could shake things up right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We're not going to hear from Coins for a week if they lose.
This is true. They'll go into hibernation. But
I do want to talk about a prop. So maybe we can bring up Betalytics. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can check these out on Betalytics and see if they line up. And if they don't, we can still kind of talk about why we like them. Mine is Isaiah Hodgins from the Giants, over 41.5 receiving yards. I'll be interested to see if Coins trips out about that one. He's had 4+ receptions in 6 straight games. He's gone over 41.5 receiving yards in 3 straight. He actually did not clear when they played the Eagles earlier this season, the first matchup, but the Giants played like shit that game. He had 38 yards, so he got close. I love this 41.5 number. The guy had 8 receptions and over 100 yards last week. Yeah, he's the best receiver by a mile. I endorse it. I like that. Thank you. I also like his touchdown. His anytime touchdown is plus 230 on the books. He's had a touchdown in 5 of his last 6 games. He scored when they played earlier this season. Clashing with sweatpants on this one. Oh, this doesn't support it. Not supported by the data, huh?
No, his receptions is a green dot gov there, but it's for an under.
His under receptions.
Yeah.
Oh, see, all right, it's okay. Like I said, this is why Betalytics is nice, because you use it to either support or not support something that you like, and then you can use your gut decision on whether or not you want to play it based upon knowing the statistical data behind it.
Right.
This is why it's important. It's also important to show that I'm not a bot and I just take random stuff that I don't believe in, and I use my football brain to make plays sometimes rather than just following statistics every single time. But I just like the matchup. I just think that he's got a connection with Daniel Jones right now. Obviously, the Vikings defense is not the same as the Eagles defense, so completely different. You can't look at what he did last week and completely put that into what he's going to do this week. But I like his touchdown for the plus 230 value. That's really good value for a guy that scored in 5 of his last 6, and he scored against them when they played, like I said, about a month ago. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite prop. I liked Daniel Jones rushing yards, but it's moved down since the number that I looked at. I think everybody and their fucking mother's betting it after we saw what he did last week running the ball. Yeah. So only reason why I thought about playing it and not because I feel like he's going to run the same way they did it against the Vikings, but I think he's going to be running for his life a little bit just because of how good this Eagles front seven is. So that's my thinking there, but I did not actually play that. I like the read, but it wasn't something that I put my hard-earned coin on. So, but yeah, Hodgins over 41.5 receiving yards. I like that play a bunch. Got that on MGM minus 120. So that was my favorite play. Inzi, what was your prop that you liked?
So even though the outcome rather of the last time they met was not in the Giants' favor, not the last game of the season, obviously the one prior because everybody sat. Miles Sanders ran all over them, and I like him today for over 69.5 rushing yards. It's minus
Good
110.
number.
He had 100 and he had 100 and something plus last game. So it's weird because it looks like we line up here with Betalytics. They're also going with the over, projecting about 72 yards. So I don't know, 5% edge in red. I would have thought that would have at least qualified for some yellow. I don't know though. I don't know how that necessarily works, but because 5% is definitely good. And then the grade, I'm not really sure either. I thought that this was a decent play, maybe because the line is such a close amount. They feel like it's not an A play because there's that possibility that it's still very close. This is interesting. I noticed this, and 75% edge, they're projecting him to get almost double his yards. I mean, it's just one reception for 5.5. So that's something to look at as well. And I also like him for the touchdown plus 105. So those are my two plays in that game.
I liked you're going Giants +8, but you're playing Eagles props. I like that.
You got to look at what pays too. I mean, the Giants are going to let up. They're going to let up points. Somebody's got to get in there. I mean, I won't lie. The Giants secondary isn't the greatest. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts have a real connection. I don't see Devonta Smith being the guy now that Mayhew is no longer there. So
I don't know, man. Devonta Smith has been balling.
He has, but he hasn't been balling with Hurts though. He's been balling with Minshew. Yeah, with Minshew. So no, we'll see. I like Brown though over him just today in against them. The only reason why I can't pick Giant props is because Barkley's the only one that I'm confident in, and I don't know how they're going to have to need him to perform today. So I don't like touching his rushing or receiving yards. I don't mind him for a touchdown. But I don't know if I'm going to play that because we need people like randomly like Hodges and all these other guys to definitely show up out of nowhere and pull the hero acts like they do the best.
Betalytics is saying that data definitely favors Sanders over. It's a lower grade because it's so close, but
it is close. Okay,
sure.
So I was right. Okay.
Yeah. Isaiah Hodgins. Yeah, Steely Dan. Hello. I saw you saying what's up. I just was letting NZ talk. What's up? You have over 41.5 and 4+ receptions. Nice. I am on the 41.5 as well. Betalytics does not like it, but that's okay. We can still be friends. Hopefully it hits. That's all I'm going with. I honestly thought about laddering it, to be completely honest with you, but I don't want to go too deep into this one. I will say this. I don't think you should lay the hammer on playoff football. Because playoff football, so much random fluky shit happens, even more than the normal NFL. Like you think that there weren't eyeballs on the NFL regular season? You know how many fucking eyeballs are on the postseason right now, man? These lines are sharp. They are exactly where they're supposed to be, and especially with how cooked they got last week with so many guys going over and all these overs happening. I don't know. I could see some fluky weird shit happening this week. So. I would say for the rest of the NFL playoffs, just do your due diligence on your unit control there, just because we all know what happens in those situations. And we've talked about this with Trizzy before because he caps the sport, which he's about to talk about now. It's a good little transition. He caps the sport in the UFC. That is obviously very popular. A lot of people watch it. A lot of people love it, but it is not something that is as paid attention to by the books. And these types of spots and these types of sports, usually you can find more advantageous bets that you can make that are going to be a lot better value than something like the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. Obviously, we love betting those things because, we love watching them. We love taking them in all the time, but they have the most amount of Vegas eyeballs on them. And so they make those lines really, really, really sharp. So that's something that's something to pay attention to as you kind of go through your betting journey. I'm hammered. Let's go.
I'm trying to get there.
I'm working on it. As soon as I finish this cup of coffee and this stream is over, I am gonna go get involved in that. All right. Do you guys want? So I gave you the plug on talking about the UFC, but I know that there's a lot of hockey. Do you guys want to do a little bit of hockey first and then do UFC, or what? How do you want to do this?
The only reason I'm going to say hockey is because my play starts in a half hour, so I would love to give
and
that
I
to the
believe,
people.
I believe mine does
both
as
of our
well,
plays.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
All right,
let's just go hockey first.
All right,
good.
so I'll run mine off real fast, and I'll pass it off to Triz. So the game that we're referring to is the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Calgary Flames. It starts in a half an hour for whatever time zone you are in. So I'm going with Nikita Kucherov over 3.5 SOGs. It's plus 116. He's hit his shots the last 2 games against the Flames. He had 5 and 6. 5 was the last game they played. It was in Tampa. It was in November of this season, even though it was last year technically. Last year's game, though, where he had 6 was in Calgary, and they're playing in Calgary today. The Flames allow the second most shots on goals in the league. So I'm going to be taking him, and I'm going to ladder him to 6. Plus 5 is 5 plus is plus 265, and 6 plus is plus 500. So there's a lot of value there. I mean, if you put 1 unit on his line just at the plus 116, you should cover everything, maybe even a little profit, and then everything on the way up is just a home run. I'm also
we talked about this before stream, and I got distracted and forgot to book it, so I was just booking it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm on him too, Steely Dan. It's just that my concern with him is the way that I've been being burned by just about the majority of the NHL, in the sense that when I do my research, I do my background, I see a guy like him who's hit 12 out of 14 games and yada, 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 and all that fun statistical stuff. And then I get the goose egg game, or I get the hook game. Mm-hmm. And it's been, and Trizzy can tell you, because he's an SBJ, because they're involved in a lot of my bets. I am Captain Hook. I dropped that title for a while, but it is back. So
you can't get away from the Captain Hook. It always comes back to you.
You can't. It always comes back.
So guys like this right now who are extremely hot scare me, because I've been burned by so many of them at this point. Cooch has only hit his shots his last 2 games and his last 3 out of 5 altogether, which I kind of like. He seems to be heating up. Let's see if this is his 3rd game in a row. And that's my play.
I dig it. Like I said, I'm already riding with you. Chat, if you guys can get that plus 500 for the 6+ worth the spring, because as you just rightly said, he dominates the Flames. Trizzy also has a play in this game.
Yes, I do. It's going to be a very, very sweaty play, and I promise that. So I like the under in the Bolts Flames game, but I don't like it necessarily at 6. I think there's a high chance of it pushing at 6. This is kind of like a system of mine. I've kind of played it all season. NZ can attest to it. Sometimes I have no idea how these games go under, and they end up going.
Oh, and we lost Trizzy.
I bet you got a phone call.
He probably got a phone call.
Good?
Yeah,
I got a phone call.
Good.
So
you're good.
All right. So I'm looking at the spreads for this game. I have noticed that there has been a tiny bit of line movement on this total here. It has bounced up to 6.5 a couple of times and bounced right back down to 6. To me, that tells me the books are protecting 6.5. They don't want to give up the 6.5, and usually it's for a good reason. When I've seen that happen, typically this season, the game usually lands on 6. What I can say here is you have 84% of the tickets and 95% of the money coming in on the over, but it has not moved to 6.5 full time. And like I said, that usually means the books respect this little 5% of handle on the under a lot more than this 95% on the over. I usually like to bet with Vegas because they're not wrong very often. So I'll play it up. I'll take the 6.5. I don't know exactly what that's on. I took it this morning.
Minus 130 right now.
So it's not too juicy. Sometimes, as I'm sure everybody knows in sports betting, sometimes you have to pay to play around here. So I'll lay a minus 130. I usually never mind that. But what I usually do with these games as well is I play the first period under 1.5. And then I play the full game under 6 as well. Sometimes we can hit the trifecta, or usually if there's more than 2 goals scored in the first period or 2 goals scored in the first period, they usually hang a really pretty 6.5 live. It's usually plus money.
Nice.
It's a little system I have.
I'm going to interrupt you real fast. Hang on just a second, because Betalytics said, riding with you, Trizzy, expect a low-scoring game, a grade A play, and they got under 6 at plus 100. And I'm actually staring at under 6 for plus 100. And you know how much I fucking hate unders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm riding with you, bro. I'm going to do the under 6 for plus 100 just because if it pushes, I don't really care that much. But if the plus for the plus 100, I love that value.
I'll just bounce off of that. You're looking at plus 100. I'm looking at the two sharpest sports books I know of, Bet Rivers and Circa, and they're both hanging 6 at minus 110. So that should kind of show you. You know what I mean?
Same with FanDuel is too, which is surprising.
Yeah. Sometimes FanDuel's a little sharp with things. They like to watch Vegas sometimes.
Yeah, they usually aren't.
And as we know, I mean, the Bolts they're a great team. The Flames haven't been playing well at all. It's a Saturday game. I think they could come out a little bit slow. I also think this plus 1.5 on the Bolts is a little funny. Mm-hmm. And they also have a lot of percentage of the tickets in the handle on them in that regard as well. So I just think it's a low scoring game, close back and forth, whatever the case is. Probably it might even soar under 6, but I like to take the 6.5 and just be safe. I've seen these games land on 6 so many times. Everybody gets pushed and they're bitching and complaining, and I'm happy with the 6.5 over here. So
yeah, these are the types of moments where paying that little bit of juice is good because you're cool to pay it because you're going to win, right?
Like, yeah, it feels like I do it because it in my head, it may sound stupid, but in my head, when I cap a game like this and I notice they're not giving up the 6.5, to me, it feels like I have a half goal edge on everybody else. So 100%. To me, I'll pay 20 cents to have a half goal edge on everybody else.
But I will say, if you have it on your sports book, like I said, I literally just booked it on BetMGM. If you can find plus 100 for under 6, I love that bet because, like I said, you're either getting your bet back at 6 or you're getting that 5 and you're cashing at plus 100, which is nice. So
agreed.
I like that as well.
Can't really go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. If you can find under 6.5, it doesn't sound like it's out there anymore now, though. But unless you buy it up a little bit and pay that time and probably pay more juice than you did this morning. But I actually do have an NHL play. I forgot about this one. I posted it this morning. I know it seems like I play Roman Josi every time he plays hockey, but I don't. I really don't. But this time I'm actually playing. I like Roman Josi a lot over 3.5 SOGs. I got it at minus 130. It's a little juicier than I'd normally like to play for a shots on goal prop, but they're playing the Kings tonight in Nashville. He had 7 shots on goal against the Kings in October when they played earlier this season. He's hit over 4+ SOGs in 4 of his last 5 games. I might end up laddering this if they offer it. If they offer it on FanDuel. Yeah. He's the Predators' best player. Like I don't have to. I'm not going to bore you guys and tell you all the things I normally tell you about how awesome Roman Josi is at hockey, but the Kings also are like 12th worst in the NHL, which is not crazy bad, but they're not in the top tier of penalties allowed. They get a lot of penalty minutes, and that's when Josi does most of his damage from a shots on goal perspective. But if you've been watching him play recently, I mean, I played him the other day when they were playing. Oh God, who are they playing? Oh, the Blues in St. Louis, and he had 1, and then he got like 2 right at the end of the first period, and then he got another one right at the end of the first period. He's just the type of guy. He just likes to rip puck on net. So I like Josi a lot. I got 3.5 for minus 130 on MGM about 2 hours ago. I could see this getting steamed to fairly unplayable by the time it gets closer to puck drop here. So that's one. If you like it, I'd go ahead and play it now if you can. And it is worth a ladder, like NZ said. Is it available on FanDuel, NZ, or are you?
Not yet. I mean, I have seen it for other games. I don't know if they haven't just released the later games.
Sometimes on Saturdays when they kind of spread the games out, they kind of do this stuff of like.
I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think we're gonna.
That means he's gonna soar.
Yeah, the game above it, the Islander game actually has it, and then the Stars game doesn't because they're playing the Coyotes naturally. I bet you the Blues game won't because they're playing the Blackhawks.
Yeah, they're starting to protect themselves with the ladder.
I see the Avs and the Kraken have it though, so maybe you can always do Nate McKinnon.
We've talked about this too, and then all right, so guys, I know a lot of you are here for UFC violence. We're going to get there. I got one more thing to say about the NHL, and then we're going to let Trizzy take the floor and talk about some violence with some of you guys.
Yeah, Victor, you haven't missed anything, Victor.
No, but yeah, we got people in here that want to hear about the violence. We're about to get to it. But last thing I'll say, So a lot of people have been saying on Bet365 that they ladder SOGs, and they ladder them up to like 8, 9.
Yes.
If you have Bet365, go check that out. Because
Definitely.
Inzi and I were discussing this, and I think that this will probably start happening with FanDuel and some of the other major books, that they will increase the amount of laddering that you can do on shots on goal, just because we're seeing guys hit that 8, 9, 10 number. And it's the books want to do it to where they entice you to take a plus 1,000 play that could hit, but like it's not going to hit very often. So I can see that happening. So be on the lookout for that if you have FanDuel or one of the more major books. But if you have Bet365, please go investigate their laddering options on the shots on goal market, because it's a great way to bet. Okay. Now let's have some fun.
UFC heads.
All right, one thing. Sorry, Betalytics just said nothing too sexy, but Duchesne over 1 point at the Preds game stands out as an A grade for minus 152. Good value there. A little too juicy for me to play that straight if you wanted to throw it in a parlay. Duchesne loves he loves playing at home. His shots might be decent. But I like that. I like that play. All right, so now to the violence.
Wow, look at this. Even
the violence.
Chef's got questions. We got
questions. We got violence questions.
Yeah. We got some statements here, Trizzy. I know you got some.
Yeah, unfortunately, this little comment right here is about to get thrown through the mud. But
I saw that.
Let me talk.
I saw them say that, and I was like, I remember what he said in the beginning. This is
unfortunately, I'm gonna have to drag that take through the mud. So if you want, I'll just get going.
Yep.
So, Isaiah McKinney versus Ishmael Bonfim. I believe I've been watching UFC for a really long time. I've been betting on it for a while, and this is one of the biggest rat lines I have ever seen. Terrence McKinney, I called him Isaiah McKinney. Terrence McKinney, I'm thinking of the Giants player over here, but Terrence McKinney, he's a guy that comes in every single fight. He's minus 350, minus 500. This guy's running through guys 4 minutes, 3 minutes into the first round. Doesn't matter how he does it. He's knocking dudes out in 10 seconds. He's submitting guys in 3 minutes. Dude looks like a phenom. The one of his last losses, he technically put the guy down 3-4 times in the first round. He just couldn't get him out of there, and he ended up getting put out of there. With all of that being said, this man has been a minus 300, minus 250 favorite, all against UFC caliber competition. In guys that have been in the UFC, have continuously fought in the UFC. He's a massive favorite against these guys. Here we go into Brazil. He's fighting a guy that has never fought in the UFC before. He's making his UFC debut today. And he is only minus 120 on the money line. Now, does that make too much sense to you? It doesn't. Or if he's minus 300 against all these other guys, why is he minus 120 today? He also has 80% of the tickets on him, 80% of the money on him, and the line is moving towards Bonfim. Again, another rat trap line, if you ask me. I personally, what I think is going to happen is I think Bonfim is going to survive that first round. He's going to wear on him. He's going to hold him against the cage. And then in the second round is where Bonfim is going to shine. Just from what I've seen, I went back and I watched a lot of Terrence McKinney fights. It's kind of hard watching footage on him. The guy doesn't spend longer than 5 minutes in the cage. He's out of there in the first round almost every single time. But I went all the way back to one of his regional, I don't know if I can really call it regional, but it's one of the lower level promotions, and he fought a guy named Derek Minner, submission specialist, you can kind of say. And that is the only fight I could find where Terrence McKinney was actually put on his back. He was actually grappled first, and he lost. He got choked out pretty quick. Now, I think a lot of people are underestimating Ishmael Bonfim's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu game. He's very good, not just because he is Brazilian, but he is very good. He trains at a very respected gym. And on the Contender Series, which is his only kind of UFC showcase, he didn't really use it. So a lot of people thinking he's going to go in there and he's just going to strike with Terrence McKinney. He's in his own country. He's going to get this win any way he can. And I believe he's going to get this win by just wearing McKinney down. I think he'll be able to eat McKinney's shots. And just like Notorious said over here in chat, McKinney's 2.5 minutes are done. And if he's out of that 2.5 minutes, or he said that 90 seconds, so it's even better. If he gets it past that 2.5 minutes, all Bonfim has to do is survive 2.5 minutes, and then he automatically has a lot more tools to win. I believe there is a reason that Terrence McKinney, a normal guy that's usually fighting at minus 300 price, minus 250 price, you can't even get some of his props at plus money usually. All of a sudden, he's minus 120 against a guy that's never fought in the UFC. I believe that's for a reason, and I think the books know exactly what they're doing here because Terrence McKinney is a very well-liked fighter. A lot of guys that are a casual in UFC, they know Terrence McKinney because he knocks guys out in 10, 20 seconds, a minute, or whatever the case is. A lot of these guys know him. So he's going to be hammered, just like the books are actually getting. They're getting a lot of money on him. They're getting a lot of tickets on him. And the line's moving the other way. I think that kind of just shows everything that's going to happen in this fight. It's really scary fading Terrence McKinney. We're probably going to have some puckered buttholes for at least the first 3 minutes. It's going to get real sweaty for a second, but I think if we make it past that 3 minutes, we should feel really good about having an Ishmael Bonfim ticket. The other thing I wanted to touch on as well is Circa, sharpest UFC sports book I know of. I believe they are one of the sharpest books. They are undercutting his submission line, Ishmael Bonfim's submission line. They are undercutting it by $2 compared to every other book. And they're very sharp, and they're usually sharp for a reason. So if they're undercutting that line by $2, it's probably for a good reason. And the other thing I did notice is they have been undercutting that line, and they are also moving that line. Other books are not really moving that line. It's kind of staying around plus, I think I saw it plus 800, plus 700 on a lot of books. Right now it's sitting at 500 at Circa. Maybe DraftKings too. DraftKings likes to follow Circa. Funny thing is about those two sports books is they're both partnered with the UFC.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
Ishmael Bonfim to me.
Did you see this comment on the line for the rounds line is over 1.5 plus 184, under 1.5 minus 240. What do you think about that?
There's so much value on Bonfim, in my opinion. You don't even need. There's no reason to play that. There's a lot of value on Bonfim himself, so why mess around with the round pot? You know what I mean? Like we've been talking about this whole time. McKinney, he's a 90 seconds or bust fighter. There's a lot of money on the under in that fight. If the under is going to hit, Bonfim's probably going to win. He's probably going to win by first round submission. So I don't mind not playing anything there. But if you want to play the under, that's probably even a good look as well. And that's another good point to make of Notorious. We might, if you wait and you don't bet it, I'm not going to wait because I just don't. You never know what you're going to get on the lines. But McKinney's probably going to win a good portion of that first round. So if you check after the first round and Bonfim's still alive, you probably get a really big plus number on Bonfim. And I know for a fact McKinney will not be there in the second round, especially if he's getting grinded on against the cage or grinded on the mat. I think somebody will actually put him down. Bonfim will actually grapple him and take him down and just kind of wear on him that way.
What about this?
What are your thoughts on this? Yeah,
that's all fake. That all got squared away. The people that actually were kind of involved in that are being investigated and prosecuted. Canada has a very strict gaming commission, so it hasn't been proven yet. But basically, I watch it every weekend. Some fishy shit happened in the specific fight that it happened in. But the UFC has cut ties with anybody involved. They suspended one fighter that was like kind of involved. And like I said, the Canadian Gaming Commission, they're very strict compared to the United States. So they moved very quickly to ban UFC because they had integrity questions. Since then, actually, as of I think 2 or 3 days ago, now you can bet UFC again in all of Ontario provinces. And so you should be good now.
Cool. Okay, so just recap the play. Are you playing him to win by submission? Are you playing him to win by? So first of all, go follow Trizzy Bets on Twitter, guys. Yes. He posted his entire card. You can see the entire list on there. If you missed part of this stream or anything like that, go follow him on Twitter. His card's posted. He'll talk about all of it, but that's posted. But yeah, so just run through the actual plays.
All right. Now I mean this is what I play it for. If you want to tailor the exact units. I really confident in this play, so I'd kind of drop the nuke on it. I have 2.5 units on Bonfim straight up, and I have a unit on Bonfim to win by submission, and I got that at plus 600.
And what's the straight up money? What's the straight up money line?
Plus 105. I actually think it's minus 105 now. It keeps moving like continuously with everybody betting on McKinney. The line is moving towards Bonfim, and a lot of people won't want to fade McKinney. Yeah, this is the official play. Bonfim money line 2.5 units, 1 unit on the submission prop, and then I also have a little sprinkle, nothing too crazy, but I have a little sprinkle on round 2 submission at plus 2,500.
Oh my God, that's so spicy, dude.
It's real. It's spicy. So don't go and put the house on it. But at the same time, plus 2,500, you need to bet like $10 and you're making money. So
nice.
That's just one of my favorite plays today. And if you let me keep going, I'm just gonna rant. So
all right. So let's do it this way. So I have I want to do this because I want to get this in here while we're talking about it. So I'm gonna. I love those round. Yeah, Hovey's all about that. Which again, if you guys like the more lotto-y type plays, like if you're finding those in these types of situations, the amount of time Trizzy will message our group chat and be like, "Bang!" and then I'll be like, "What just happened?" And somebody subbed in the second round that he had a $2,500 or to like a 25 plus 2,500 ticket on it. So yeah, it happens. All right,
we've hit a few of them.
Yeah,
we've hit a couple of them this year.
So I have an MGM boost on the UFC today, and I'm going to put 3 of Trizzy's best plays, like his best top 3 plays. I'm going to parlay them together for a little cheeky parlay. So is Bonfim's money line one of the plays that you like the best?
Yeah, I personally I'm in love with it. I know a couple of good respected handicappers are on the other side, but it's just me being the contrarian bettor. I've seen this type of stuff happen plenty of times. I think this line is the way it is for a reason. So yeah. I think Bonfim, I don't like using the L word, but it's a max play for me.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm going to start this off with Bonfim. I actually am getting plus 105 on MGM. Nice value there.
Nice.
I think, let me just, again, guys, I just want to show, I'm not an idiot bettor. I don't bet the UFC very often. So a lot of these things are fairly new to me in my verbiage in some ways. So I'm learning about this market a lot more. 2-way result, right? Is that a good way to put this down? Plus 105 for Bonfim. All right, so that's your first one. So what is your second favorite play from one of these?
It would probably have to be Jamal Hill. That would probably be my second most confident play. If you want me to run through, as Notorious said, make sure you get the right Bonfim. There's Bonfim brothers.
I see that there's a Gabriel Bonfim, but it's Ishmael Bonfim, right?
It's Ishmael. Yeah, they're brothers. They're both pretty good, but they're both fighting on the same card. So I've seen a lot of people get that mixed up.
We did it earlier, in case anybody was wondering.
So I mean, if you're really talking like straight MMA, Gabriel is technically the better fighter in my opinion. But we're riding with Ishmael.
He's minus 165 on the money line or on the.
I'm going to stay clear from that. I'm going to take the other brother, and we'll ride with that. Maybe if he wins, I'll sprinkle a little bit on Gabriel, but we'll take it. We'll take it by there. But my second favorite play, which is also a 3-unit nuke for me, is Jamal Hill. He's fighting Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira is 43 years old, grappling specialist, but he's a grappling specialist that likes to get punched in the face. That is his main problem, in my opinion. Instead of sticking to what he's good at, he thinks he can strike with everybody. So about 6 months ago, I think it was a little bit longer than 6 months ago, he's about 42 years old, and he fought one of the biggest power punchers in the light heavyweight division in Jiri Prochazka. Jiri Prochazka took him almost 5 rounds. It was an all-out war. They're both bleeding. He ate a bunch of significant strikes, and he's 42 years old at that moment. Now, fast forward 6 months later, he's 43 years old. Also trains with the heaviest puncher in the middleweight division, Alex Pereira. That's his main training partner. He hits hard. If they're sparring, Glover's brain's getting scrambled a little bit, even in training camp. So I've been saying all week that if Glover Teixeira fought Jamal Hill before he fought Jiri Prochazka, I would like Glover a lot more in this spot. But because he is fighting Jamal Hill after Jiri Prochazka, after a 5-round war with Jiri Prochazka, I think Jamal Hill has a very good chance of dinking him off the forehead in the first round. In my opinion, the one difference...
Can you bet that? Can you bet dinking off the forehead? Yes. Is that a bet that you can bet?
Yes, it's called a first-round KO prop.
AKA dinking off the forehead. That's what we're going for.
Dinking off the forehead. Precisely. So nice. where was I going with that? So Jamal Hill, Jamal Hill and Jiri Prohaska are different. They're different style of fighters. In my opinion, Jiri, when he's in the octagon, he has a lot more respect for the guy that's standing across for him. He's a little bit more methodical with what he's doing. If he hurts you, he's not going to just rush in and take a risk. He's going to be a little bit more cautious about it. Jamal Hill turns into a completely different animal the minute he steps in that octagon. For some of the stuff he does to guys, he probably should be arrested. Now, when he goes in there, if he can wobble Glover within the first 5 minutes, sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. I'm going to put my hand down. So,
dude, there ain't no hand rules in this. You can do whatever you want.
I'm Italian.
So
I do too. You're good.
Yeah. So basically, in my opinion, if Jamal Hill can wobble Jiri a little, whatever the case, or even just land a few clean punches, instead of being more timid or methodical, he's going to snap and go right in for the kill. Where Glover is known to take a few hard punches early in the fight, and then he comes back. He always fights his way back and makes it a close fight in the late rounds in the later rounds. I do not think Jamal Hill is actually going to give him that opportunity. I think as soon as he smells blood, he's going to pounce, and I believe that's why the line is moving the way it is. Glover Teixeira, 43 years old, used to be a champ fighting in Brazil. It's kind of weird. He's the underdog, right? Mm-hmm. He's got more of the tickets. He's got more of the handle as well. I think they kind of know here. The other thing is I've watched UFC for a really long time. I can't tell you the last time I saw a title fight total at 1.5. It's at 1.5 in a 5-round fight. The total is at 1.5. So I think that's a little foreshadowing of what's going to happen here. I believe Jamal Hill is going to go in for the kill in the first round, and Glover Teixeira, thinking he has the same chin he's had it for the past 15 years in the UFC, it's going to fail him. I think it's finally going to fail him. I think he's probably going to get put down in the first round. Hate to see it. Great guy. You know what I mean? One of iconic fighters, won the belt, 41 years old, 42, something like that. A great story, but I do think at 43, you can't imagine the UFC wants him around for too long. I assume it's kind of why they made this fight. I think they believe in Jamal Hill. I believe in Jamal Hill. I think he has violent hands. He has a violent mindset. He wants to finish, which, that, in my opinion, that's going to be the difference in this fight compared to Glover's last fight. So I don't hate the under. I think that's a good call too. I also don't hate. I love Jamal Hill money line, but honestly, if I'm being, I don't like to take any chances whatsoever. So I just played the money line. I got a little bit of a better price than it's sitting at right now. I think it's at -142. I got it at, I think, -135 or around there.
It's -135 on MGM. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. Yeah. MGM's always a little slow updating odds, but I know
they are
on Circa right now, he's -145. So, honestly, if you're going to play Hill, it's 5-round fight. If you think Hill is going to win, you basically agree that he's going to knock Glover out. And if you want to, I don't like taking the risk. I just play the straight money line. I don't mind eating juice. But if you would rather take the KO, even the KO is at -115, I think. So this guy's money line is -140, and to him to win by KO is -120. That's kind of telling. So if you would rather just eat the juice on that, then I would do that. And if not, I would just take the money line and play that. I think that's one of my most confident plays today. I don't really think that's going to be too close, if you ask me. I don't think we should sweat too much there.
All right, so we've got Bonfim +105.
Ishmael.
Ishmael Bonfim. Sorry.
Yes.
And then we've got Hill. I just lost his first name. Jamal Hill with the H, which is an interesting way to spell Jamal. Jamal Hill.
I agree with that.
Yeah, -135. That gives you +235 or +256 here, which is the second part. But I want to make this a little juicier. I want to go with a 3-legger with my boost here. So give me your third most confident play of this UFC card.
So conveniently enough, my third most confident play is actually plus money. And we are going to take Davison Figueiredo money line. And so he's the champion. He's fighting in Brazil. This is the 4th time these guys have actually fought. There has never been a quadrilogy in the UFC. This is the first time. The first fight was a split draw. where Figueroa retained the belt because he was going into the fight the champion. The second fight, Davidson had a really bad weight cut, and he actually ended up getting submitted in that fight and lost the belt. The third fight, which was the most recent fight, I think it was about a year ago, it might have been a little longer by now, but Davidson got a little better at handling Brandon Moreno. He got a little better at bringing the pressure and not getting caught in weird situations or weird positions. He was a lot more aggressive. You could tell he had a better weight cut. I'm so high on him this week because, one, he is in Brazil. This is I can't remember the last time he fought in Brazil, but he's in his hometown. Not his hometown. I don't know exactly if he's from Rio, but he's in his own country. He's got that whole crowd supporting him. On top of that, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of digging. I know he's actually been almost on weight since Sunday night. So typically, that's one of his biggest problems is making weight. He's actually been close to weight since Sunday night, which tells me he didn't have too much of a hard time making weight. I actually dug up a little bit as well, and he changed nutritionists for this fight. So I think it might have helped him a little bit. And he's coming in on weight. I don't think he's going to come in too weak. I don't think he's going to come in dehydrated. I think he's coming in focused. I think he's coming in confident. I think he's coming in ready. I just explained how they fought 3 times. He lost the first fight. Well, he didn't lose. It was a split draw. In my opinion, that was only a draw because he got a point deducted for an eye poke. It's a mistake. It happens, but they deducted a point, and I believe that's why it was a split draw. In my opinion, without that point taken away, Figgy wins that first fight as well. So I take out the second fight where Figgy has lost. If you take out the second fight where he had a bad weight cut and he got submitted, and you only go from the first and the third fight, it looks like Figueroa is progressively getting better against Moreno, where if you flip things, Moreno was making a lot of improvements. I know we were just talking about the gambling scandal in the UFC or whatever. Well, Moreno's coach that he switched to was the coach that was involved in the gambling scandal. So he can't talk to him anymore. This whole training camp, he went back to his old gym. Most of his losses in the UFC, he was at his old gym. The new coach, I'll just say his name, James Krause or whatever, he took his striking to a different level. He was fighting a lot better. Now you take that coach away from him for 6 months. He's going through that mentally. Now he's traveling across the country, the world, basically, to go fight in this guy's hometown, a guy that has already had his number basically twice. Now they're fighting a 4th time. I think it's going to go Figgy's way. I don't think, it's with them being in Brazil, if this is a close fight, razor close, and it goes to a decision, who do you think would win the decision in Brazil? The Brazilian fighter, in my opinion. You're getting them at plus money. There's a lot of tickets and a lot of money coming in on Brandon Moreno. He's I would say he's the more popular fighter. Figgy's kind of like the villain, so to say, of the situation. I think a lot of people are betting on Moreno with their heart and not their brain. I refuse to do that. I'm a big Moreno guy, and I would be the first one to say that I do believe Figgy will beat him over 5 rounds more than he wouldn't. The other thing that tells me I think Figgy might be the side is, like I was saying, there's a lot of tickets. There's a lot of money on Moreno, depending on where you're looking. And the line is only minus 120 for Moreno. I know it opened to pick 'em, but in my opinion, it probably, if Moreno had more of a chance to win, if it wasn't that close, he'd probably be swelling a little bit more. Probably be up to minus 130, minus 140, minus 150 at this point in the week. It's Saturday. He's not. The other thing, and this goes for the Bomb Fiend fight, this goes for the Bomb Fiend fight and this fight. Circa, Bet Online, and Bet Rivers are all hanging the best numbers possible on Terrence McKinney and Brandon Moreno. The sharpest books that we have access to as American bettors are hanging the best number on the most bet fighters. You can kind of put 2 and 2 together. Why would they do that? Because they know some stuff. You know what I mean?
They know.
Yeah, they got the inside. Yeah, they got that script on the inside. So,
and Trizzy texted us earlier this week when he knew he was going to be on the show, and he said, "Guys, I got the script."
Yeah,
so,
I got the actual script in my opinion.
Yeah. Guys, this is great, man. And Victor's loving it. He said, "This is facts." Yeah, I'm learning so much just listening to you talk about this. I know how passionate you are about the UFC. There's so many people out there that love the UFC so much. Oh, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah, SBJ.
Fire turtleneck thing. I was gonna put my betting news shirt on, but I wanted to go with the turtleneck today. So it's a little chilly here in Nashville. So, but all right. So unfortunately for me, my MGM. Well, maybe not unfortunately because shit's gonna smack. But I need 4 legs for my parlay.
All right. Well,
so I need your 4th banger, my man.
Triz, did you say
I can give you a play. I can give you a play that's just genuinely not going to lose, but it's minus 400.
I don't care. So well, first of all, guys, real quick, just so you guys know, the 3-legger that he just put out, I think, isn't that the one you put out on your card, Bonfim, Hill, and Figure?
Yeah, I have them all on there. I don't think I didn't put out a Bezos package this week, but basically that is the Bezos package.
Gotcha.
in more or less, you know.
And if you book it on MGM right now, it's plus 649. So that's really good value for 3 guys that, as you just heard, should just do their jobs and win these fights. So
exactly. And if you want that 4th leg, like I said, it's minus 450. But I don't see a planet where Gilbert Burns doesn't win today. I don't know exactly how he's going to win. He could win. He could win by decision. I mean, if it's a real fight, you would think that he's probably going to finish Neil Magny either in the first round or in the second round. Neil Magny just fought 2 months ago and took a lot of damage. Gilbert Burns punches very hard, and he's almost like the top level of black belt you can get. So he got his black belt, and he's 3 or 4 levels beyond that. So I'm not too familiar with the way BJJ belts go, but I know that's very good. So I actually think he's the highest black belt in all of the UFC.
Yeah. So Trizzy, before you give me your last one here, because I want you to keep going, but I just want to remind you, we got some new people in here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. This is brought to you by Betting News. We've got our buddy Trizzy Betts in the house today, who is one of the sharpest UFC bettors that we know. Really good dude as well. Obviously, he's been dropping so much UFC information on us right now. Loving that. This is your afternoon Betspresso, brought to you by Betting News. Go to bettingnews.com. You can read my stories on there. You can read NZ's stories on there. Supported by the program, supported by the Twitch, supported by the Twitter. Go check everything out. We've also got Betalytics in here today. They're also loving the information coming out of Trizzy's mouth about the UFC. And if you guys aren't following Trizzy Betts, go follow Trizzy Betts on Twitter. Go follow my boy NZ at Walmart Mac Miller. And go follow me. That's Sweatpants Jesus. Appreciate you guys being with us here today. If you're just kind of stopping in right now, we kind of talked a little bit about the NFL earlier, a little bit about the NHL, and now we are diving super deep into this UFC card tonight in Brazil. Trizzy just gave me his 3 most confident, or gave us, all of us as winners in this space, gave us his 3 most confident bets on the card. Go check out his Twitter at Trizzy Betts to find out all of his plays. But I need one more. So give me your last one. Even I don't care if it's minus 20,000, man. I just need one more so I can put it in this parlay. So I can.
His 3 favorite that he gave out, in case you just joined, are on the bottom ticker right there. And he gave his unit size. So of course, bet responsibly as you want to. But there's the script.
Just what I have on it.
Yeah.
So
Bonfim, Hill, and Figueiredo. Is that how you say it?
Yes. Yeah. I call him Figgy. It's way easier. I'm Portuguese and I call him Figgy. So.
There you go. All right, so give me one more. Even if it's like you said, it was like, what did you say? It was minus 400.
It's like minus 4. I think it might even be up to 450, but it's minus 450 for a very good reason. It's going to be Gilbert Burns. I don't say it often. This is probably a play you could put your entire net worth on and not sweat like one drop.
It's minus 550 on MGM, but we're
it's probably for a reason. If I'm being 100% honest, he should absolutely run directly through Neil Magny. Neil Magny's good. He's a UFC veteran, but there's levels. When you're talking about grappling and you're talking about wrestling, there's levels to this shit. And Neil Magny is just not there. He's, like I was saying before about Gilbert Burns, he's one of the highest levels of black belts in the entire UFC. This guy's a BJJ world champion in multiple different competitions. This guy, when he's not fighting in the UFC, he's grappling in competitions and winning. So He's a really good fighter. He's trying to make a statement as well because there was a fighter that never beat him but actually just jumped him in the rankings. So he's a little salty about that. I think he's going to come out. He's probably going to try to get the finish. If you want to get spicy, play inside the distance. I don't know if you can combine that on MGM. So
I'm just going to do the minus 550 just because I needed 4 legs for this parlay. And honestly, man, with these 4 legs put together with Bonfim, Hill, Figueredo or Figgy, and Burns, I'm getting plus 785. But with my boost, I'm up to plus 962, and I'm putting a unit on it.
Oh yeah.
Putting a unit on it, guys. I will post it when this stream is over. I'll be sure to post that out there if you guys want to ride with me, and you want to ride with Trizzy, because I feel like this is smacking.
It's gonna. I'm locked in today, boys. I'm dialed.
And just so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna talk. So we're gonna all kind of put together our favorite plays, and we're gonna cook a parlay from one from the UFC, one from the NHL, and one from the NHL. But if you guys like hearing what Trizzy has to say about the UFC, and if you want to hear more about this, then go to his stream, which is going to be on Twitch. What time are you streaming later, man? What time are you going to be going live?
I think it starts at 6:00, so I'll be going live for the first fight. I have a little play on the first fight. It's on my I'll go live probably like 10-15 minutes before, that way I can get the play out. And we'll just get it going at 6. I'll probably be on there for about 6.5, 7 hours.
So
if you guys on a stream,
I'll be there if you guys want to see my ugly mug more. But I will be there.
I might even stop by for a few minutes just to see what's going on. But yeah, if you guys go follow Trizzy, he'll be streaming he'll be 7 hours of live Trizzy UFC action
marathon.
They moved the start time to 5:30 Eastern, just so everybody knows, from Notorious, who also follows the UFC. Very, very sharp dude. So go follow him as well. But yeah, if you guys want to hear way more Trizzy talk about the UFC, obviously, as you heard, as you can hear, as you can see, the man knows UFC like nobody else that I talk to. He's one of the best UFC bettors. He's also just a really good bettor in general and a really good dude. So go follow him. Go follow his stream later today. We've loved having him on today with you guys as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cook up a parlay.
Just to address this real fast so you guys are aware, this will be on a different Twitch channel. So it won't be on the Betting News channel. It'll be on Bezos or Bozos. It's all one word, and it's spelled exactly like it said, Bezos or Bozos. And that's where you'll find us. So hopefully we see you guys later.
Yeah, go stop by there. These guys will be live. Like I said, I might even pop by for a little bit. They're going to be, I think Trizzy's going to have some other guests on from some other people that know the violence. So yeah, stop in, hang out with these guys, listen to Trizzy talk more about how much UFC is awesome. Okay, so let's do this. I want to cook a parlay for our 3 most popular bets. And honestly, guys, we got some people in chat. If you guys have a play that you love today, we will do your favorite bet in this parlay as well. We'll have 4 legs. If we don't have something from chat that they love, then bang,
we'll have
in
some.
there.
They'll
give us something. Some. Come on, chat, give us
Let's
something.
see your favorite plays, guys. Start dropping them.
Yeah, start dropping your favorite plays.
Oh, this is interesting too, by the way. GG Jaguars, if that is the case.
Oh, yeah, that's not happening.
If that's the case, GG Jags.
Under.
Tickets out.
Under.
The under. The under.
The under. Is it one of those situations though where like they'll say it's snowing or raining and then you tune in and it's like sunny and 60 degrees? It was supposed to be shitting with rain in San Francisco last week, and I tuned in to watch that San Francisco Seahawks game, and it was bright and sunny, and so that was. This is an interesting look. First half under 26.5. That's spicy from Hovey. I kind of like that.
I like that one too.
Yeah. All right. So Trizzy, what's your favorite bet? Is it Ishmael? Is that your favorite one? Is that your most confident?
It's Ishmael Hill. So I technically have more. Actually, yeah, no.
Gun to your head. Gun to your head. Ishmael. What does your gut say?
Jamal.
Hill?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hill?
Just I don't want to sweat that much in this parlay, so it'd probably be Jamal.
Fair enough.
We do have weather.
We do have weather. Fields over rushing yards.
Yeah. I want that actually focused, but whatever. We do have weather there.
Fields over rushing yards is already paid out. It's greened out. All right, so we got Hill first leg. NZ.
Austin Matthews over 3.5 SOGs. It's minus 165, a little juiced. Kucherov already started, so obviously we can't play that. But that is another ladder that I'm going to play if they give it to us. I don't think they're going to, but for a parlay, I love that. I love that play. What?
Jailton Almeida money line should be
What is
free.
that? What is that, like minus 600 or something like that?
No, it's worse. Minus 1,000.
Nice.
100%. And the crazy thing is there's probably value in minus 1,000. Like, he's that type of player.
Would you love a minus 1,000 play for a parlay? This is interesting. Chef, we have not talked about the NBA today. I'm not gonna lie, I have not. I did not look at any round ball sports today. I only looked at the oblong.
Matthew's ladder is confirmed. Ladder is confirmed. Up to 7.
Nice. That will be a play that NZ will be posting if you guys want to ride with that. For Hagee over 2.5. That's a good look. Okay, so we got Hill at so just to win money line. And then we got Austin Matthews over 3.5 SOGs. Are you cooking this on FanDuel NZ right now? I
am actually. I'm putting it together right now.
Word.
If I can learn how to read. There we go.
I'm trying to think what I love the most.
Is it
Yossi. Give me Yossi.
You want Yossi?
Give me Yossi.
I didn't know if it was him or Hodge. That's why I wasn't sure which one of the two.
I like I'd rather ride with my goat here.
Okay.
All right, I want to hear it, Betalytics, because I haven't had a chance to dive super deep into the NBA yet. I've got some stuff to do when we get off the stream. I'll probably have a couple NBA plays tonight. But what are you guys on? What are you seeing out there? What's the vibe? I like this play too, the Verhage over 2.5. It's interesting. That's a good one. Well, what does that bring us to, NZ? What are we at? Like minus 4 or something?
Minus. No.
Sorry. Plus 400. Plus 4.
We're at plus 381.
Plus 381. Okay. Interesting. DeAndre Hunter. I would never think to play DeAndre Hunter. Why are we playing that, Betalytics? What's the thinking here? Do you want to pull it up on the screen, NZ? Maybe it's
sorry. I wasn't even thinking that.
I know you're good. We got Betalytics in the house with the DeAndre Hunter over 14.5 points from the Hawks. I mean, if
you guys like what you're seeing, go sign up.
Go sign up to
News.
Yep, go sign up
News,
to
really.
Betalytics. You can get 30% off your sign up bonus if you try Betalytics. They're obviously, we use them on the stream all the time. They're really great, really good to kind of add into your value. What's up, Eric? What's up, man? Yeah, we got Chris.
What's up, brother?
If you guys like what they're seeing, go sign up with B News. That is how you can get 30% off your subscription.
Trizzy just did his best Trent impression.
Yeah, did, I was trying to hide behind the
You're down low. You're good.
Nah, shout out Bookie with Trent, our boy there. He was freed from
He's back
from Twitter.
Back on Twitter.
The homie's back. All right, so Betalytics projecting 17.5. That's nice.
Who did the Hawks play tonight? I can't remember who they played.
Is
it the Hornets? Did they play the Hornets?
Let's see.
Ooh, guys,
where are we here?
This might be the play right here.
Yes, against the Hornets. Yeah, but you know what? They don't put that on FanDuel. You got to actually go to like a DraftKings, which I'm fine with that because Nick Claxton plays on DraftKings for me, and
they have
the bank accounts rising.
They have interceptions on FanDuel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just they got it. Well, especially with the playoffs, they got everything.
I bet you they don't for the state of New York.
Oh, I wonder if it is in New York. I have it here in Nashville. See, if you go to player and then scroll down, is it not there?
No.
Wow, really?
They only just made it so that you can do passing touchdowns with the same game parlay.
I believe for UFC as well, FanDuel stopped listing double chance lines.
Oh
no, get out!
I believe so. I couldn't find any this morning. So unless they're dropping them like last second, I'm pretty sure.
So, I mean, this one's here. This match here.
I'm so bummed about them not having the. Go ahead, Trish.
I was more so looking on the lower fights actually. So I don't know. Maybe they just weren't there at the time I was looking. I made my lottos.
Yeah, maybe they just weren't there.
Last night, maybe.
All right, so chat, drop a couple more plays that you like in here, and then we'll finish up. I mean, we can also just leave it as a 3-legger, but I want to get one from chat. I really like this interception play, but if everybody can't do it, I don't want to.
What do we think about the
Hunter?
DeAndre?
Oh, Hunter. Yeah, Hunter. Yeah, they do play the Hornets, and their defense is bad. I like this play. I do like this. I looked at this too, Chef. I like this play too. I think that Van Vliet's threes should be free tonight. What is that supported by Betalytics? Or we think what is Van Vliet looking like? Already, he's been cruising.
Yeah, they're projecting him to get over 3, a little over 3.25. So it's like a 6% edge. The line's minus 147. They're showing it should be around minus 190. So an A score with a 62% hit rate.
Bang. Let's do that. Betalytics, do you support that? I mean, I like Hunter, but I'd rather ride with Van Vliet's threes. Is that cool? Thumbs up. Thumbs up from Betalytics. Can we get a thumbs up from the chat? McKinnon triple double.
Yep, Fred threes checks out real nice. All righty.
McKinnon touchdown. Oh, McKinnon tutty. Yeah, I like that play, Eric. I actually wrote about that one a little bit. I just for touchdowns for minus 125 is so hard, man. Yeah, I did triple double, but it's tutty. I know.
Wait, why am I in this game like an idiot?
I don't know. I do like this play though, Eric. It's a good look, man. If you can play, if honestly, if you can find McKinnon anywhere lower than minus 125 at like minus 110 or even plus money, like, oh, you got plus money. See, there you go. That's the move. I saw minus 125 when I was looking at it, so I did not book it. I wrote about it, but I didn't book it. But he scored a touchdown in 6 straight. What can go wrong, right? Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So if we do, let's see. So if we got, I'm going to just bring your screen up. So if we got, what do we have? Austin Matthews over 3.5 SOGs. We got Hill money line in the UFC. We got Roman Yossi over 3.5 SOGs. And we got Fred Van Vliet over 2.5 threes. And that is plus, what is that? Plus 678.
Love it.
Sorry, I just covered it like an idiot. Yep, plus 678.
I like that, guys. I think that's not like super crazy. Everybody just kind of in their zones. We got some stuff that's in there that's a little juicy, but I mean, you know, it should hit. And we got some stuff from Chef. I really like this look from Chef for the Van Vliet threes. I looked at that myself. Yeah. I might even ladder his, to be honest. Yeah, we'll send it. We will post it after the stream is over, Eric, and we'll.
Corby, are you on a time restraint, or you don't have to worry about that now, right? Because you're in Ohio. Right, he's in Ohio, right, Chris?
Yeah, he's in Ohio.
So everything's legal now. All right, yeah. Good. All right. Because I know he used to have to travel, and then he'd get stuck.
Yeah, no, he can bet live now. He's lucky.
All right, cool. We got you, bro.
Yeah, sweet, good stuff. All right, well, we will post that parlay when this is over, which will be in just a few minutes. We're gonna wrap this up, and guys, it's been an awesome show. Like I was saying before, we had Trizzy Betts on today. Super awesome in the UFC. His picks that he talked about in the show are scrolling on the bottom of the screen right now. If you want to tail any of those plays, you can also go follow him on Twitter at Trizzy Betts. And he'll be on stream later as well on the Bezos or Bozos Twitch account. You can go check that out. He'll be live throughout the entire UFC event tonight to kind of dive into the plays, talk about what he's seeing out there. NZ will probably pop in and say what's up to him for a little while. I might even stop by for a little bit. So go to the Bezos and Bozos Twitch channel.
I will 100% be there for the later action. So
he will be there.
Have some fun.
I will definitely also stop by for at least 5 minutes. I gotta
make sure. I gotta make sure I see something else. So
yeah, you gotta watch some other things. But we appreciate all you guys stopping by and chat today. It's been an awesome show. This has been your afternoon Betspresso, brought to you by Betting News. We'll be doing these every weekend on Saturdays. We'll be having different types of guests every Saturday at this time. Next week, we're going to be having a really special guest, Betting the Pitch. If you guys follow him on Twitter, he's a super sharp soccer bettor. We're going to have some soccer talk next week, which is going to be dope. And then NZ and I will be here, obviously, talking about our favorite NFL and NHL plays, maybe some NBA. And Betalytics will be there, too. If you guys like Betalytics, go check out betalytics.com. You can check out their tools and how we use them on the stream. If you guys like that, if you want to get involved with what they got going on, go to betalytics.com. You can sign up with the promo code BNews. You get 30% off with our promo code. It's a really good deal. We were talking about it before. Actually, if you sign up for a year, it's like $5 a month. Like if you're betting consistently, if you're betting on the daily, it's a must-have tool, guys. It's so great. It's not guaranteed. Nothing in sports betting is, but it definitely helps you find your best bets. And yeah, this has been, like I said, brought to you by Betting News. Go to bettingnews.com, guys. If you're not going to bettingnews.com and reading my stories, if you want to hear what I'm talking about on a daily basis and get inside the little mind of old SPJ here, go check out my stories on there. And Z's going to be having some more stories moving forward, so go check all those things out on bettingnews.com.
Yeah, if anybody wants to get a better idea of Betalytics, go check out my Twitter. I posted a review on them today, so if you're maybe debating on doing a subscription, maybe that'll help entice you a little more.
Yeah, and NZ wrote a really awesome review about them. Betalytics also kind of signed off on that too. So really go check that out on Betting News. He posted it on his Twitter. And if you're not following us on Twitter, please go do that as well. At BN Content, we're going to be posting a lot more stuff in the next couple months and as we move forward throughout this year. We're going to be ramping up a lot of different things on betting news. So go to BN Content on Twitter. If you're watching us there, then thanks for stopping by. If you're watching us on Twitch right now, appreciate you guys being here. Go follow us. We're going to be having subs soon, so please get involved as well on that side of things. And I think that's it on the housekeeping, guys. We'll be posting the parlay that we just cooked up in the next couple of minutes when we get off the stream. And then, guys, go out there and enjoy the rest of your afternoons. Enjoy these awesome fucking bets. Enjoy UFC tonight. Enjoy the NFL tonight. Enjoy the NHL today. It's going to be an awesome day of sports. Thanks for stopping by. Anything else from you, gentlemen?
Nope. Just thank you for having me, boys. It was nice to talk UFC a little bit.
Dude, thank you for coming. Thanks for all the familiar faces that we see, and you guys keep tuning in with us. We appreciate all of you guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with us. And tell your friends to come and kick it with us. Come and hang out and try to win some bets and get better at sports betting, because that's why we're here, right? So appreciate all you guys stopping by. For Trizzy Bets, go follow him on Twitter. For Walmart Mac Miller, but Buddy Inzi, and for me, Sweatpants Jesus, go give us a follow. And we will see you on the next stream. Appreciate you guys. Have a great Saturday.
Later, boys.
Later, guys.
Take it easy.